Hello YouTubers, Sonic Ox here. Today is Thursday, December 28th, 2023. This is kind of a long video, but it's just a little outback adventure with the OX7 drone. We're going to go up to Coyote Hat Hill. Sage thinks she's going to drive. But this is that hill that you see in the distance there. That's the one that is about a mile from the house that I did a range test to the other day. Today we're going to take the Ox rocket and we're going to pull a little trailer so that we have a good flat takeoff pad. This is just the road in. So we're about a mile east of my property. This land is owned by the state of Arizona, so I'm blessed to have a lot of open space around me that I can take these little adventures with the dog. Getting less and less open space these days with all the homes being built. So we got to the place where we wanted to film and found a little handful of mule deer browsing around. We of course didn't want to frighten these gentle creatures with the drone or the dog. So we just watched them from a distance. They watched us. We just set up our gear and I put the dog on a tether. She generally won't give chase. She knows she can't catch them. But I don't want her to disturb them, so I put her on a tether while I set up my gear. I counted 5, but there's always more than you see. You can see they blend in really well with their surroundings. These deer were cautious, but they weren't the least bit afraid of us. There's almost always a small herd in the little saddle that runs through Coyote Hat Hill. That's that saddle that you can see from my property with Mingus Mountain on the other side. That's about 10 miles from our house to Mingus. That's where I shot those videos of the forest flights a week or two ago. I guess a week ago. Some more video of the small deer herd. So they're just casually doing their thing, and when they amble off what I think is a safe distance, I'll put a drone in the air. So we're well up on that hill. Should have great control link and video link. Shouldn't be too much interference up here. Brought that little piece of rubber mat so I've got a good, clean, flat surface to lift off from. I usually don't try to land on it because if it gets squirrely, it hits that trailer and I don't want to break parts. That's just my little garden trailer that I built out of an old lawnmower. I pull it behind the ox rocket once in a while if I've got gear to carry. Sage doesn't like being on the tether. She doesn't believe she's a dog. She doesn't understand why she has to be on a string. So that's from the hill looking west. That's a granite mountain in the far distance. We're looking a little southwest, and that's my neighborhood. So that's almost right at a mile away to those houses from our position looking west. It took me a couple of minutes to get 6 satellites to lock up. I'm seeing that's about the norm on a cold start. So on this first flight is using my 1300 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery. I can probably get 6 or 8 minutes of flight out of it, but I rarely go over 5. And I've been using it first to get my cold start GPS lock out of the way. You can see that Mrs. Ox is taking a little hike from the house, and so she's joined us. And then we'll all load up at the end of the flight and drive home. So here I'm flying line of sight, but I've got my little FPV monitor. It does a good job too. I like to take off and land line of sight, but I also like to fly on the monitor too, and I do still intend to build probably a 3.5-inch quad, kind of a Cinewhoop that I can put a camera on, and when I do that build, I think I'm going to go digital. I'll put the O3 Air unit on the quad and buy some digital FPV goggles. That's down the road a little bit. I'm still having a really good time with this 7-inch setup, and even with the analog, it's fun to fly and record. So this is the first pack, again, that lithium polymer pack. And I'm just checking out the area. I'm trying to stay close because I don't have a lot of battery on this one. So that's looking east, and you can see through that saddle Mingus Mountain in the distance. We're really blessed to be so close to all these usable open spaces. That's looking south, bending around to the west. Kind of to the northwest. Back to the southwest. The second pack, the lithium-ion pack, that video is about 11 minutes long, so I think I'll quit yapping and put on a little music or something when that flight starts. This Coyote Hat Hill is a little taller than it looks from my house. So at the end of the second video, I gain a bunch of altitude and try to look over it. That's another housing development to the north and kind of east of my property. They're 2-acre lots also. You can see those homes going in. Everybody out here is on a well and septic, and it's proven a little bit difficult for the new builds to find water. We're pretty lucky. We have a good producing well. We get about 13 gallons per minute, but it's about 800 feet deep, my well. I've heard that this development that you're looking at now has a tank up on the hill that they fill with a well, and the tank feeds the community. I haven't confirmed any of that information, but you can see on the right-hand side of the screen a big tank that's being fed by a well, so that's probably true. We're coming up on the second pack, so I'll leave you here, and I'll put on a little music, probably from my buddy A Bird in the Hand in the UK. He's produced quite a few tunes that go good in these kind of videos, so I'll put that on. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Ox out.